my interactions and collaboration with pre-service and in-service English language teacher colleagues, they all express similar views. First, that text selection and adaptation are useful skills to possess so that they can better meet the needs of their students. Second, that the role of the teacher is not just one to merely carry out activities in the classroom, but somebody who has the power to shape learning. And that power of shaping learning in classrooms can come about through text selection and adaptation. However, the undertaking in itself is not so easy. It is filled with challenges, as a few of our colleagues will tell you about.
Generally, when I'm selecting text, I face certain issues. One of the issues I face when I'm selecting text is that I like it, it's a very interesting text, but it just doesn't meet the learning outcomes that I had intended to achieve.
While there are English language skills that we would like to teach to the children, the text is what holds their interest. So the main thing in the selection of text is that it's got to meet the children's needs. Of course, there are things that we want to teach them that is really important, but the text has got to be something that's relevant to them. It has got to be exciting for them. It's got to be something that gains their interest to draw them and want to come into the English language classroom.
When selecting text, I will look at the interest level of the boys as well as their needs. But most importantly, the text must have the rich language for us to mine in the classroom so that we can have a deeper analysis of it in the class.
Sometimes the text is too dense, and then I find myself having to unpack the whole text, the vocabulary, the background, and then I lose the focus of the lesson. Oftentimes, when we just bring the text into the classroom without adapting it, we find that suddenly the students don't understand many of the words, and then we're having to unpack and spend a lot of time not on the intended purpose of that lesson. So these are the problems we're going to face if we don't adapt text. On the other hand, when we do adapt text, it becomes a very onerous process, and we grapple with it because we don't have a system to follow, a framework to follow, and we don't know how much to adapt, and that's when teachers kind of avoid having to adapt text. So this is a constant problem that we face.
Sometimes after editing, after spending long hours editing, you realize that the flavor of the original article is lost. And worst of all, the cohesion and the cohesiveness of the text is lost as well.
The responsibility of choosing and adapting text to meet the children's needs can sometimes be a little bit scary and daunting, because we've got to make sure that it is good material to be used in class. But that is where the challenge and the beauty of this whole thing comes on, because it frees us away from the confines of a text. It empowers the teacher in a way that having a text doesn't allow, and we bring into the classroom things that we are passionate about, things that we are concerned about, things that we feel very strongly about, and hopefully, besides teaching those language skills that are important, we also bring with it all the life skills that we want to impart our kids with.
What is evident from what our teacher colleagues have said is that teachers can better cater to the needs of their students by being skillful in text selection and adaptation. This video aims to make you far more familiar with how to select and adapt text.